Our final guest today on the Rise is no stranger to CKUA's airwaves, and she is also a beloved musician in Alberta. Her latest album, After The Masquerade, has been climbing our top 30 chart. And here with me today is Shaela Miller. How are you, Shaela? Thanks for joining me. How are you doing?
Hi, thanks. How are you doing? I'm doing great.
I'm awesome. I'm really pumped to chat with you today. What can you tell our listeners about the album?
Well, it's a slight departure, to say the least, of my last two album offerings. Sonically, we're doing some different things. It's more of a new wave kind of country hybrid, leaning less on the country, more on the new wave side. I think even with the change of sound and some of the instrumentation, I truly feel like it still is fully me, more so than ever, perhaps. And I've been getting some really nice feedback from my fans that have been listening to me for a long time, that they feel the same. So that's just wonderful.
That is beautiful and very comforting. What's it like? Was there any fear about, your musical evolution? Were you afraid that you would sort of lose fans? Were you afraid that, you wouldn't be received as some of your other albums?
Yeah, for sure. I was a little bit, but not too much. Not so much to the point that it was going to like change my mind on what my heart was set out to do. So when I first decided I wanted to do a new wave record, I considered doing like a secondary project. But then I just talking with my peers and team and everything, and they're just like, Shaela, this is still so you that you don't need to rebrand as a different name. This is like just undeniably a Shaela Miller sound and record and the songwriting and just all of it. So I did have a bit of fear behind it, but I do find my fans and supporters and stuff over all these years, I often hear like, I don't like country music, but I love your music. So that being said, like I know I do have like a large amount of like country music fan followers that maybe mostly listen to country, but I generally think like music lovers and, all around just like music. It doesn't have to be genre specific. I know for me as a huge music lover, I love all kinds of music. So I kind of just like put my faith in that like people who are loving and listening to my music, it's not like I'm on the top 40 radio station waves where like people are exclusively listening to like a certain radio and that's how they've discovered me. They've discovered me through CKUA and other radio stations that play like a wide variety of independent artists of all different kinds of genres. So on top of the fact that I was like, I just need to do this anyway because this is in my heart to do. I think anytime you really put your all into your music, regardless of anything, which is the only thing I ever do, I think that it doesn't matter what it is, as long as it's genuine and real, people are going to hear it and they're going to feel that in their heart and in their ears.
One of the reasons I wanted to chat with you today was because I kind of want to tell you that your album, After the Masquerade, is the number one album on this week's top 30 chart.
Oh my gosh. That's so
Yeah.
amazing. Thank you. I noticed some friends posting about their record being the number one last week, and I looked at their sharing of it and noticed that I wasn't even in the top 10. So that means I climbed from beyond 10 to the number one spot. That's awesome.
Yes.
Wow. Thank you. I'm
You are
so
so
happy to
welcome.
hear that. Thank you.
Oh, God, it's my pleasure to share that news with you. And congratulations, it's well deserved. All the best to you, Shaela. I'm going to leave our listeners with In My Dreams from After the Masquerade. Can you tell them a little bit about that tune?
Sure, thank you. And I'll try not to cry, but this song is super important to me. I wrote a lot of the songs on this record after a really tragic loss of one of my closest friends. Today is actually his 3 years since he passed away. And anyway, I wrote in my dreams after a really vivid dream. I was having a lot of vivid dreams about him, and they were so real. And I would wake up and it would just be like experiencing the loss all over again. And in my dreams, we were having lots of
Hmm.
fun, and doing lots of fun adventures together. I just finally put the pen to the paper and got it out of my system. And I mean, that's a lot of my songs. I write that way, like they're true, they're real, and they're coming straight from my deepest heart of my emotions. And it's really how I process a lot of pain and certainly the grief of losing Brent. I wrote in my dreams during, really the hardest time of my life in terms of mourning. I hope you all enjoy it and can feel the love.
Oh my
I'm
gosh.
sorry. I really, yeah.
That is really
Thank
beautiful.
you.
Thank you so much for sharing in my dreams in memory of Brent, your dear friend, and for those that we've all lost and who we still love. This is Shaela Miller and in my dreams.